He's the reason why my face is all aglow. Just one kiss from his lips is like taking vitamin C. Oh, you can't imagine what a doctor does to me. Doctor does to me. Doctor Love, he can cure my every pain. He can make me well again. Doctor Love, he ain't got no competition. Only he writes my prescription. Doctor Love, Doctor Love, ooh, Doctor Love.
Yay!
Wow.
We're back.
77.5
And a half.
and a half. I think it calls for a celebration.
All right.
Clink, lift,
Separate my
separate
lips.
my lip. What is this? Is this the hen house?
That is straight out the hen house.
Straight out the hen house. Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, man. I'm going to drink that till it's empty. Do you think I should? Yes, I should.
That's a
Why don't you
good
give me
play
a
on
little,
words.
let's drink that till it's empty and play a little Robert Palmer on the beat on it. Come on, let me in. Swear I'll be your only friend, and I will get down on my knees for you. And if I could, you know I would do anything at all to get you near today. Hear me say you're more than money, more than glory, more than I could ever hope to say. Hey, you're more than beauty, you're more than mystery, more than now, more than yesterday. Take me to your heart. 'Cause there is where we make it start. And I will get down on my knees for you and pay the price. Sacrifice, do anything at all to melt your soul on ice. Realize you're more than money, more than glory, more than I could ever hope to say. Yeah, more than more than fragments, more than now, more than yesterday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh man, that's an evergreen.
It's fun to play.
Big thanks to Bongo Bob for that
Bongo.
one.
That's a guy we need to hear from. at
Yes,
some
we
point.
need to do a bongo show at some point. But yeah, he wrote that, gave me that thing with, built that track and had all those hooks in there, and I just kind of wrote the words, and there's a hit. Oh boy, well, great Scott, you know.
It's the Great Scots Show.
It's the Great Scots. So, last week we featured, pretty much everyone that had been in the 77's knee scratch band. But we left out a couple of key figures. One is Steve Scott. And so, and the reason why he's important is because I found out recently that the only reason why the 77s ever were put together in the first place was to be his backup band. Steve had made this album called Moving Pictures with Larry Norman producing it, and he came over from England and was working on the record, and around the time I showed up, they wanted to have a band for him to play his songs, and that eventually morphed into the scratch band. So all the songs we did when we started were all Steve Scott songs from that album.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't aware of this, but Sharon McCall told me this little story, and I wasn't made privy to that until just last week, and I'm going, wow. So we really owe him a huge debt of gratitude. He provided us with our first hit, and which we're going to play in a little bit. So anyway, we're featuring him and also Mr. Scott Reams.
Yeah, the second Scott came along.
Second Scott came along around 1995 when we were recording Tom Tom Blues. He was the engineer at the studio, and it wasn't long before he wormed his way into our employ. I think we needed him for a tour. We'd become friends. We were recording together. And it turned out that we needed a second banana, and he came out on the road with us. So eventually, he was kind of in it, and has done a lot of recording for us, a lot of mastering, a lot of keyboards here.
He's the all-star auxiliary guy.
Yeah, he's kind of the utility guy, and
but a serious artist in his own right.
So
always has been.
I've been very grateful for both of these guys. So we wanted to do a show. We figured, why not? Let's extend our show, the number that shall not be mentioned, extend it by 50% and add these guys in and do some songs about them.
Yes,
so
because we got to recognize the Great Scots.
the Great Scott. So without further ado,
Great Scott.
you can hear Scott Reams' voice on the Tom Tom Blues album. You hear him announce the song Outskirts, but it wasn't called that then. It was called Tom Tom Blues. All the songs had working titles. And we thought that working title was cool enough for the name of the album. But you hear Scott at the beginning of the take, he goes, Tom Tom Blues, yeah. Remember that? So let's try this. I've never played this. I guess we've done this as a duo. Maybe we did it with Mark. I don't remember.
I don't know. Let's try it.
I'm gonna move way out of the outskirts of town. Everybody dog me. They dog me right on down. Yeah. They hit me once, hit me twice. They hit me 3 times, people, but that's alright, that's alright. I'm on the move. I'm on the move, yeah, yeah. Way outside of town. Yeah, they stick it to me, right to my face. They put me in the ground, they put me right back in my place. They hit me once, hit me twice. They hit me 3 times, people, but that's alright, alright. I'm on the move, yeah. I'm on the move, yeah. Way out on the outskirts of town. I'm telling you people, I tell you right now, you better watch yourself, get yourself right out of this big bad town, yeah. They hit you once, they hit you twice, they hit me 3 times, people, that's alright, alright, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm on a move, I'm on a move, yeah, 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 yes, I'm gonna, oh, I'm gonna move, way out of the outskirts, way out of town, yeah. Wow, man. I don't think we've done that as a duo.
Really?
I really don't think so. I think it was on one of the Mark shows.
That's work.
Yeah, we didn't even practice it. It's like I was sitting there going, now, we didn't run this one down. What am I going to do?
It's good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Forces you to kind of think a little bit.
So those 77 songs play themselves.
Yeah, well, anyway, Scott recorded that track, basic track with us. You know, he was just a kid at the time, and it's not those kids running around the studio. You know, I thought, what's...
Still looks like a kid.
A little bit, but no, he's grown. He's grown.
Guys, though, he's one of those guys that I feel like what can't this guy do really exceedingly well? Because the guy's consummate, amazing musician, singer, production,
Auto mechanic, race car driver.
Yeah.
No, he's a
Guys,
scary dude.
He's ridiculous.
He's a Renaissance. He's a true
Yeah.
Renaissance man.
Yeah, he is.
We don't know that many of them.
Oh, and
He might be the smartest guy, you know.
man,
of all of
Renaissance
us.
man.
I know. Well, you know,
Gosh,
I
that
really
would have
don't
been
want to play
perfect for
that this
him.
week. But
Well, okay, how about this one? Since we're
on the Tom Tom
yeah,
Blues,
since we're telling it like it is.
let's tell it like it is, man. You know.
All right, ready? Oh, Johnny, let's do the Johnny one.
Oh yes, let's see. Give me a here. Let me check. I got a bone up on my tuning.
Okay, we're going to do another one from Tom Tom Blues that I don't think we've done on the show, but some of you guys who are keeping track might know more than we do. This might have been another one that we did with Mark way back in the early days. I don't remember.
I stopped counting.
You want to set the tone?
You got it right there. Yeah, let's try it out of the swamp. Hit it.
2, 3. All right, tell me what I see. I better watch out. Your words are getting in your way. It's not right, every little thing you say. Come on, baby, get a grip. You better tighten up your flappy little lip. Don't go down where the lies live. All right. Listen to what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying now? All right. Listen what I say. I've been watching for every little move you make. It don't jive, 'cause every other word is fake. It's all lies, the whole thing. It's all jive, and I'm tired of listening. You wanna fly, but you never paid for your wings. Talking about, come on. All right, but tell me what I said. Tell the truth now. Put your buddy tongue away, 'cause no lie ever really goes away. It's gonna grow, it's gonna spread, it's gonna follow you until you're dead, baby. They pull the sheet right over your lying little head, yeah. Better give it to me, this day I want it, this day I need it, this day gotta have it, this day got to get it, this day I want it. Yeah. Come on, give it. Doc. Yeah.
Vulnerability in that, bro.
What?
It's a
Well,
lot
I
of-
got most of them.
That was really, it showed our vulnerability.
Or, I know. Well, I got most of them.
I gotta say. Oh, man.
I don't think I think if I'd rehearsed this for 2 weeks, I wouldn't get it. You know, it's one of those.
No, in fact, you would.
You think I would?
Well, this was weird. We need to
bone up.
we need to be honest that we
need to be on, show some honesty.
this one right here. Yeah, this one right here. It took a little bit of.
It took a bit.
It took some coordination.
All right. Well, look, we talked about, we've given Scott his due. I think we need to let Scott have a word. Don't you think?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious Mr. Scott Reams.
Hey, so congratulations on number 77 and a half, CoROEnosphere. Glad to be here to be some part of this.
Thanks, man. Well, sorry we missed you on last week, but now you get your own half of a show.
Oh, good. The whole half?
Well, we'll try to find some tunes that you had something to do with, whether you were the engineer or maybe you played on something. But anyway, I just wanted to check in with you and see what's going on in your musical world and find out what's happening.
Yeah, so the last, obviously a year and a half has been interesting for everyone. And I used this, the pandemic kind of as a way, it inspired me to lock down and kind of work on stuff that mattered to me. So I've spent a lot of time playing in cover bands and that kind of stuff with Bruce, and I just wanted to, work on my own music. I hadn't really done that in a satisfying way for a long time. So I, finally finished an album and got it out. It's the band is called Scott and the Scape Artists, and the album's called Best You Can, and it's songs that have been worked on over the years. And just released a new single. It was a song that's been around for a while, but I added, got Bruce on it. We've been playing for the last many months, and it's really kind of honed. Our sound has been honed down just right, and I wanted that to be the sound that was on the recording. So got him on it and recut the vocal and just released that, and it's free, and you all should enjoy it.
Cool. So is there a place we can go to buy the album if we want? Is there like a link that we can maybe post for fans on here that don't know?
Yeah, I just posted a link that includes this single and then also references the album. And if we can maybe repost that on the 77's Facebook or something like that, that would be wonderful.
Great.
That's the place. The best place to get the album is on Bandcamp. It's just a very musician-friendly platform, and I have it set up to where it's a pay what you want. So if you just want to listen to it, and you don't have any money left, please go get it anyway.
Awesome. Well, we sure miss playing with you. We've had you on our show here a couple of times, and I'm looking forward to doing that again, hopefully sooner than later. And of course, I'm sure you'll end up on the Christmas show, but it's been fun having you, and thank you for doing this. And I hope, I hope one of these days we get to all tour again like we did in 1999. It's amazing that was like 22 years ago, and that's still such a vivid memory for me, having all of us out playing together and Steve Griffith doing the mixing. And that was
we had Michael Gregory playing for some of that stuff with us, and when we played Cornerstone.
Right, that's right. You did the Safe as Milk show there.
That was one of the first things I did, and then we did the touring, I think, after that.
And I'm sure you played more than one Cornerstone. It seems to me there was a time where we were in a tent and you played with the Lost Dogs as well, unrehearsed. I
think so, yeah.
You went up there and just.
And we did one of the tunes, one of the Strawmen tunes, and I sang. Yeah, that's right. Oh.
So most of these fans have known about you forever. I mean, we go back to Tom Tom Blues. When you were the guy who. That's when I first met you, when we cut the basic tracks for that, and that's like 26 years ago now. So.
Yep, Paradise Studios. Yeah. So if you want to, do a tribute that it somehow involves me. Anything from Tom Tom Blues or the next few after that, we all work together on some of those things. So
Right,
yeah.
absolutely. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. And I'm sure the fans have appreciated this, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the show again real soon.
All right. Thanks for keeping me in the group.
In the group.
I'm always a 77.
Always a 7. Once a 77, always. You can't get
There's
out.
no going back.
You can't get out.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, man.
It's great to have him a part of this thing. And he has performed, I don't know what show he was on, or a couple shows.
It was on our
but
Christmas show.
Yeah, we got
and
a
then
couple
we
times.
did another one. We did a show featuring him and his music.
Yeah.
I think he's guested
I think
as
when
a
you were
musical.
gone, when you were on a
Yeah.
trip or something in June.
And then as a musical guest with us, playing with us, he's done maybe 2 of those, maybe 3.
And we're going to bring him back.
Oh, we got to bring him back. We love the harmonies.
And here's something. How about a special treat that
Hold it up so that people can see
if
it.
you are
This is the album he was talking about just a bit ago.
how about these guys?
Nope.
Can't see it.
Oh, well.
We'll just do-
Anyway, if you're on the donor list this week, if you make a donation, we're going to just randomly draw from a hat, and we're going to send out 2 of these.
Two copies.
So make that donation. We'll tell you how to donate later. And yeah, Scott's new album. I'm on it. Bruce is on it. And it's been 20 years in the making.
I'm not on it.
Sorry, Chris.
And
I'm
that's-
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good thing.
I'm sorry.
There's a good thing around every corner, under every
Yeah.
rock. So here we go. So now let's
Great, Scott. Let's feature Mr. Steve Scott with our
Yes.
first single. This song was from the Moving Pictures album from 1978, so that goes back.
Moving Pictures. You got it
Yeah,
right.
that's what the album was called. Never came out.
Wow.
43 years later, still hasn't come out. And I've heard it. It is a brilliant piece of work, and this was one of the main songs on it. So naturally, this became the first thing we recorded for the Ping Pong album, and it was our first big hit single and our video, and it won a big award in Nashville at one of those, gospel music convention things. I think it beat out Amy Grant and a bunch of those other people.
Wow, beat out Amy Grant.
That's what they tell me. I mean, I think it's an apocryphal story, but it won something at some point, and the record company was so impressed that they gave us a bunch of money to do more videos, and so it had to have done something because they gave us this big budget, and that's where we did the Mercy Mercy video and Charlie's video. That all came from money that we made off of doing our cornball video for this. So without further ado,
Let's hit it. So like a 1, 2, 3, and
I heard about the light of progress. I could never see that far. Couldn't find the light of success. Must have had a change of address. I don't care what the people say. There's gotta be a better way. Don't want the usual merchandise recycled in a new disguise. I tried it like the old book said. All I got was more frustration. Must have had the wrong translation. I don't care what the people say. There's gotta be a better way. Don't want the usual merchandise recycled in a new disguise. I'm following a different light. Different kind of light.
I'm sweating. This is work here. Boy, that was back when we had all that energy. There was so
Steve
much
Scott.
energy.
Steve Scott.
Well,
Okay, here's
he had
one.
an album. So great. So the 77s did Ping Pong Over the Abyss, came out. Then we went back into the studio, except this time we did what we were put together to do. We became Steve Scott's backup band and did the entire album called Love in the Western World. It was me, Tootle, Jan, and Mark Proctor. So we just kept recording. And Steven Souls was the producer. The guy worked with Bob Dylan, Alpha Band, all that. And so we were on a roll. So we went in there and did that record. And this was the title track, which he then recorded. It got remixed, put out again, and then he did a whole new version. And that's where you come into the picture. Because at some point, and I want to say it was 85, something like that, 1985, they had you in there with those Sin drums? What?
Yeah, the Simmons
drums, and they, made you play these real edgy, new wavy kind of things. And Steve Griffith at the helm, who, bless his heart, blew the thing up. I mean, that production is just crazy, man. Every bell and whistle, it's really loud and outrageous. And it's one of my favorite things that has come out. It's on Steve's Magnificent Obsession album, which is supposed to be re-released here in the not too distant future. So your part will live again. So I know he's all ashamed. You're all in disgrace. I thought it was great. I loved all that stuff you did. I mean,
Well, my thought on it was that I was a kid in there just doing stuff, You guys were like the pros making records. Like I think the song we'll play after this.
yes, we'll establish that.
On recording is not only one of the best things I'd heard. I think it's the coolest thing I'd ever heard come out of Exit, and it was all you guys,
Yeah,
Aaron
but
playing, and
let's not go too far with that,
okay.
though, because I want to do this tune. And
Okay,
how are we going to do it? I mean,
I have no idea. It's Let's see.
It's got this weird chord. It starts like, one of those things.
1, 2, 3. Get it, Mike?
Love and addiction will get you every time. It's a gig that don't pay like they say it's a crime. I'm sinking in confusion and I don't know who to call. The line is always busy and the writing's on the wall. I know good at names and places, so don't get me in a fight. I saw you going through your paces in the darkness and the light. Do I need you for my mother? Do I want you for tonight? You'll have to bill me later, I just gotta get it right. The song is new, the story is old. When girl meets boy and boy meets girl. Love in the Western world, the Western world. The song is new, the story is old. The heat is hot, but the blood runs cold. Love in the Western world, the Western world.
Not ready yet. Here we go.
It's like there's another language, but we can't break the code. And the length of the hunger is the strength of the road. And you're spinning your wheels, cause there's nowhere left to go. Don't tell us how it is, I think we already know. As I stare into the mirror, I have to confess I see written right across these eyes, not knowing if this address. Am I under construction or have I been condemned? I can't figure out the beginning or even see the end. It's new, the story is old. When girl meets boy and boy meets girl.
that was ambitious.
Yeah, that song holds up. I mean, going through the whole thing, I was hearing all the versions that he did. You know, I was hearing the
Yeah,
one,
I think we were
hearing
attempting
the
them
original
all.
one. I was trying to get everything I could that I thought was cool. The harmonica thing is missing at the end, so we sang it. But yeah, man, this song has held up. I mean, it's like 40 years old now. It's still fantastic.
I don't think we really actually beat it in on the melody of the chorus.
Well, sure we did. The song is new, the story's old, where girl meets boy and boy meets girl. Love in the Western world, the Western world.
There it is.
Right. It's
Yeah.
because I was singing it high.
Yeah,
Should've taken it high.
and I choked the harmonies too, so we could
The
try.
heat is hot, but the blood runs cold. Yeah, that's really cool. Love in the Western world, the Western world.
Steve.
Well, we'll do it again, and maybe we'll have Steve. We got to have Steve on the show.
Yes,
I mean,
we do.
it would be criminal. He lives in town, and it would be criminal for us to not. In fact, he is keen to do a show. I got his verbal commitment. He's watching this in horror, burying his head right now. But
and we should have one more musician. We should bring Scott on.
have both Scotts play together.
Yes.
Yeah, and he could play all those keyboard parts.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh my gosh.
Ow! Ow! Okay, all right. So, all right, Bruce, I think you need to have your moment. We need to have a moment.
Okay,
where-
so this one right here, when we talked about doing this, this one right here is the one that just really was always my favorite Steve Scott track, and there are a lot. There are several that are really very good, but this one really had all these guys, all the stars of Exit,
The Stars?
yeah, really doing their thing, man, on this track.
That was
And-
Tootle.
Yeah, Tootle, Aaron
Aaron
You-
played drums. I played guitar. Gary Landaker played bass.
played bass, and Griffith
Griffith.
just going to town mixing this thing.
Yeah, he mixed
tracking
it.
it. It's
And then we
dope,
had
man.
Benjamin Bossy from Romeo
Yes,
Void
yes,
playing
he was
saxophone.
sax. Yeah, and Charlie in there producing.
Charlie in there producing.
was he? I think Charlie did some of his Squib Dibble keyboard stuff on there too.
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool.
I think Tootle may have played those parts, but
really?
Steve was telling him what to do. And
Yeah, that was really. This song is just, man. If anybody gets a chance to check this track out, it's Mike doing that.
doing like clangy, jangly
Yeah,
thing.
those kind of those kind of cool jangle.
Yeah,
The
just
chords. So you're
that
letting kind of
stuff,
these notes ring over one another.
Right.
I said to Mike, Mike was at his jangle height.
jangle height.
And
Listening to a lot of REM at the
and
time.
then he went, and I said, man, how come he never really did much of that stuff?
I
with
just went
us?"
into
And
this kind of generic.
just kinda-
sound
you went
after that.
stock.
Yeah, I went stock.
Mike-
What's tragic about this, and I don't want to blow this. I don't want to deflate it, except to say
Don't
that
deflate it.
this was an album for A&M Records. I even have a copy of the mock-up, and maybe they actually made some cassettes that had their logo on it. The album was going to be called Emotional Tourist. Never came out.
Wow.
And I'll let Steve tell the story when he's on the show.
Oh.
Eventually, all the tracks were re-released on a thing called Lost Horizon. Many of you have that. Randy Layton of Alternative Records compiled the best of, well, he put all of the Emotional Tourist album on there, most of it. And then he added remixed tracks from Love in the Western World album, a few other things. And all the stuff came out. But originally, it was supposed to be a big A&M hit. But that whole thing went south.
Great track.
It was a great track.
Props
so,
to Steve Griffith, man. And
it's-
Aaron, I mean, this thing is amazing.
Don't say the words goodbye, love. You'll break my heart in two. Rain clouds will fill the skies, love, and all because of you. Put me down as a lonesome traveler. Write me off as a minor character. I move, I leave no traces. Just a wave in a sea of faces. I'm just an emotional tourist. Call this a holiday romance. So sad we couldn't make the connection. Call us victims
there's no light in the tunnel of their eyes. Thank God for a change in the signals.
Television with its code of honor spills technicolored guts on the living room floor. Hey, beam me up out of this global village, man. Yeah. Thank God I can change the channel.
I'm just an emotional tourist. Call this a holiday romance. So sad we couldn't make the connection. Call us victims of circumstance. Too bad we couldn't get it together. Put it down to a change in the weather. Someone said there was nothing to fear except fear itself. Hey, I wish you were here. Thank God for a change in the signals. Thank God for a change in the signals. Thank God for a change in the signals. Thank God. Thank God I can change the channel. Thank God I can change the channel. Thank God I can change the channels.
Man, what
I
a
love
song,
that tune.
man.
I just love it.
Yeah, we have to add that to our set.
Well, let's welcome Steve now and hear what he has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious Stephen Scott.
I'm here to say congratulations on 77 shows.
You look like you're reading it off a teleprompter.
Okay, should I try that again?
No, I'm congratulated. I
Okay,
feel-
be congratulated. 77 performances, 77 dynamic events.
Wow. And how many of these have you watched personally?
Several, most of the way through. Usually the banter just sends me off in fits of laughter, and I watch some of it. Watch some of the covers. I can't name the tunes right now, but I listen to the always informative in between songs chat.
Good.
And learn new things every day or every dynamic performance. And there you go.
Well, I'm only going to say that I appreciate your active participation in our humble little show. And I just want you to know that we would love to have you as a guest on the program.
I'm certainly up for and willing to do that and looking forward to it. And when I look at my microphone, it looks like I'm looking askance at the camera.
Yeah, just look directly.
I know. Yeah, I know. I should be looking directly at the camera.
Yeah, you could read poetry. We could play a few tunes. You could talk about Bali and gamelan puppets and all manner of things. It'd be great.
I could play loops and
I would be even willing to get out my electric guitar and do some frippertronics while you
that would be intriguing to do that over Zoom. Would be to, if you were planning on doing it over Zoom, or were you planning on like?
Oh no, we could see. We were talking about doing things like maybe doing a location. We could come to you. We could find some neutral meeting spot, or you could come to our little studio, whatever, you know.
Yeah, you could limo me to your studio.
Oh yeah, with our huge budget.
And we could set up. I've got a cassette boombox here. We could play some real old loops on cassettes that I've got lying around.
Yeah.
Or I could bring my iPad. I've got a bunch of stuff stored. I've got MP3s, raw stuff in GarageBand.
I have my old Casio keyboards, and it would be amazing to reintroduce you to the Casio after 30 some years.
Yeah,
and have you sit there and play those weird chords on it and sort of babble, you know, in a sort of a glossolalia sort of thing. I think we could cover a lot of ground, and I don't
I
want
think a lot of ground could be covered, yes.
All right. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you
Okay.
so much for coming on to the show. And what
That's
do you have?
good.
What do you have to say to the fans? One last word to the fans.
Yes, it is my sincere hope and fervent prayer that Mike Rowe has found a way of editing out all the bits where I look off camera at the microphone on my desktop, and I look slightly more kind of adjusted, coherent, and adult, and Zoom friendly in whatever ends up on the final broadcast.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, kind sir. I'll do my
Absolutely.
very best.
All right.
Chris Harrelson? All right. I will cut you off now. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Steve. I tell you, man, that one makes me well up, man. I love that.
It's that
thing.
bass line, isn't it?
Yeah, I
The
love
moving
that
bass.
thirds and the bass and the chords that you hang out. I really encourage anyone to just go listen to that track, man. It's
really,
just-
really
it's
strong.
really great.
It's out there to be heard.
So,
well, while we're in this place, the same time frame, we're going to do a song. Steve Griffith, made a big contribution to that record we just played on by miking Aaron's drums a certain way and recording everything a certain way. So around that time, he got in with me. I had a song called Frames Without Photographs, and I didn't really... Steve back then was big on choruses. It's like if a song didn't have a chorus, he would just say, well, there's no chorus. He was into this whole thing, right? So I bring this thing in, I'm all proud of it, and he goes, I don't hear a chorus. There's just no chorus. I'm bored. And I said, well, then you write, if you're so smart, you write the darn chorus. So he did. And he got credit. Write a word, get a third.
Steve just straight up
just hijacked my tune. So we're going to do that song.
I tell you,
for you, right?
well, Steve is one of those guys. We have to do a full.
We've got to do a full Steve show without him on it.
Yeah, this show has featured Steve.
Yes.
We're Steve fans of the show, but man, I mean that guy. I was saying to Mike earlier that if that guy was living in London or New York or something, I mean, he'd have been teamed up with any number of huge.
Yeah, he's
artists,
like a Todd
man.
Rundgren type, just so full of talent that he can't contain it. And
You just recently posted a thing with.
oh right,
Steve.
yes.
Oh my gosh,
Any of
he
you
was
that are on the 77s group on Facebook, oh my gosh,
playing
we found
drums.
this clip of him playing. What tune was it? It was a pretty muscular thing, but yeah, he was playing drums. He had these weird shades on. It made him look like some kind of guy out of a spy movie, but
He looked like Trevor Horn
yeah,
or
it
something
wasn't
like that.
quite right. But man, he was just killing it on the drums.
I know.
I always liked his drumming. I've loved playing when Steve plays drums. It's a blast. But
No,
I
he
didn't,
really was killing it.
He must have been playing a lot right then because he just nailed that. to
Yeah,
the wall.
he's just the guy's over the top, man.
So we're gonna do a tune that he helped me write, and this thing ended up on Sticks and Stones, I think. I can't remember. So 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Loneliness, staring out a window pane, sitting on an unmade bed, thinking with an unmade up mind about the things I can't forget. You've gone, but you never left. And now I'm only a frame without a photograph. If only once someone would fill me up. I cannot bear this nightmare that I cannot tear from the everyday I wear. Over and over, like a got silhouettes. The habits, the frame, nor the framework. And I'm only a frame without a photograph. That only wants someone would fill me up. And now I'm only a frame without a photograph. And it only wants someone would fill me up. Just a frame without a photograph.
It's always hard to play that song. I don't know why.
Such a gigantic era, man. You guys were just so good.
It was a big one. I remember when we got that Rolling Stone review of the album. This was on the Island album, by the way, not Sticks and Stones. And they said Rowe's lyrics sometimes borderline on the silly. And
Really?
they brought this one up. Yeah, they were talking about this song and were saying the lyrics were silly. And I'm going, I guess they kind of are.
Who do they think they are?
Yeah, it's like those people,
What,
they don't know anything.
Some reviewer of Rolling
Oh, how do
Stone.
you like
Gosh.
that? I was
think-
just grateful to be.
I think we're well aware of the veneer that's come off these media professionals at
it
this
wasn't-
point.
It wasn't, that song wasn't the centerpiece.
The power of the pen.
The power of the pen. All right, so speaking of the power of the pen, we're going to talk about the power of the PayPal. And we just want to encourage you all to keep giving as you have been the last week or two. Show 77 just went off the rails, and people are still donating, and I really appreciate it. So anyway, PayPal, and guess what? You won't believe this. Of course, it's going to put me on the hook. PayPal, not to be outdone by their little, child company Venmo, decided to put a chat feature now. Okay, so if you donate, whether you use PayPal or Venmo, now I'm gonna have to answer you. So paypal.me/MICRO77S like Sam. Venmo is at MICRO77S like Sam. If you like writing checks, we like getting them. Write them to 77S LTD period and mail it to that. P.O. Box 1441 Citrus
Grapefruit
Heights,
and not the lows.
California 95611.
And Scott's record?
Yes, and if you donate, someone's going to win.
Dos.
2 people will win Scott's record, and it's really good. We're both on it. We're all on it. It's a 77s record.
I'm not on it.
Chris.
I think Mark's on it too.
Mark's on
I think
it?
he is.
So it's a 77s record. All right, for you completists, even if you're not a completist, man, Scott's music is unique and really cool. And I've liked it ever since I started recording this on this record 20 years ago. 20 years in the making. He started it back when we were over at the first Leonian in the not in the barn, but in the house. He was cutting it where we cut Radioactive Crows in there. We were just recording nonstop, and
that's interesting because Leonian is reborn here.
reborn here, where it's there.
We're gonna have
somewhere over there.
We're gonna have to put the classic Leonian logo into one of our shows.
We do.
Put it right
So-
here on the drums.
Well, this world I'm telling you, man, I don't know what to say about it. I'm not going to say anything except I'm going to let the song do the talking. We're going to dedicate this to our brother, Sean Doty. If you're not aware, he left us last week or so. And this was the first tune that we cut on his album. I even got to play harmonica on it, which I still don't know how to play, but I'm always recording with it. All right, so...
This eastern world, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River has fighting floating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Well, don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fears I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to save with the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Yeah, my blood's so mad, feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here just contemplating. I can't twist the truth, it knows no regulation. And a handful of senators don't pass legislation. And marches alone can't bring integration. When human respect is disintegrating, this whole crazy world is just too frustrating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Well, think of all the hate there is in Red China. Then take a look around to Selma, Alabama. Or you may leave here for 4 days in space, but when you return, it's the same old place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury your dead, but don't leave a trace. Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace. And you tell me over and over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Nah, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction.
Whew. My God, that's more relevant now than it was when it came out. Unbelievable tune. Thanks to Barry McGuire for making that a #1 hit in 1965. And here we are, 55, 56 years later, I don't know. Same old thing.
Yeah.
So, having said that, we are going to close out with our own little hymn show, our own hymn.
Inspired by and kind of grafted.
Yes, oh,
grafted
absolutely.
on
Let's face it, I stole it, Thanks for pointing that out. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, I feel like I have to feel something good all of the
77 and a half. Bruce
Doc
Spencer.
Doc Love.
Chris Harrelson. And many thanks to Steve Scott and Scott Reams, the great Scots.
The Lost Scots.
They were lost, and now they are found. Next week.